You can't get your hands on these things, you understand?
Really?
So look, I say to myself, how do I get a hold of these guys? And I managed to track these guys down. I buy one from them.
Holy smell.
We started writing this in 2010, and it was contemporary. You know, like there was a basketball player, Amari Stoudemire, who we wanted to be there. And then as the movie kept moving forward, it would shift with the time. And then eventually it was going to be contemporary at the time. For today, it was going to be Joel Embiid. And we were going to shoot over the summer. It was going to be perfect. But once the production shifted into the fall, an active player became out of the question. It's like, okay, now we have to use a player who was recently retired, who could realistically play themselves as much as 10 years, like from 2019, 9 years ago, 2010. But then you have,
we look back
the
as far as 2008, but then we had The Weeknd was a part of the film as well.
He's gonna be major, even though he's from Canada.
This guy looks stupid.
He wasn't a public person until 2012.
Once we spoke with Kevin Garnett, it was like a game changer because there was such a passion in his voice about the game and about life and an intensity.
Met with Josh and kind of the producers, and they talked about the concept. And it was something that I saw myself doing and seeing myself, playing myself. The whole story was something that I could totally believe. I definitely would come to a jewelry store with a bunch of people, turn the jewelry store into like hours. Music's going, next thing you know, water, champagne, they not lock the doors when you're in here. Yeah, I've definitely done that before. It has some very, very parallels to it.
For some reason, he was a blind spot in the casting because I hated him. I hated Kevin Garnett. I couldn't get over my basketball fandom and try to inspect why I hated him. You know, I was a Knicks fan. I hated him because he just was.
He destroyed us.
He did, but it wasn't just this guy. He goaded you.
Yes, he would destroy you
and mocked you when
and then
he
rub
did
it in. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's my man.
So the first thing I said to him when I met him is, "I hate your guts," and I think he really responded to that. But I meant it, and I said, but I was letting him know that I hated his guts, so that whatever he was doing in his persona was working, and he loved that.
I'm here to bother you. I know it is. What's going on? Listen to me. I got 175,000.
The player is a central character to the story. Unlike other scripts where you can have your character that you wrote and then you go out and you cast that character, this was different. You had to cast the character and then write the role. When it became Garnett, like we were saying earlier, Garnett's persona in the NBA was an intense one, someone filled with passion.
That's a sign for that I need.
Yo, bro.
I can't sell it to you.
What you mean it's not for sale?
And he's a superstitious
Yes,
person.
yeah, that was the thing.
You know,
We
he
asked
told
him.
stories about his youth.
And we asked him about, like, well, what would it be about this rock that would make you want to have it? And we had just an open conversation with him about the intentions of that. And it's not easy to kind of attach yourself and act with a rock, you know, and say, I need this thing. But he brought in stories from his past, and then the idea, the connections he had to certain superstitions that he would have during the league. So he added that all into it, and it's like, okay, if that's where he's thinking, then yes, you have to go back and add that to the script. But it didn't just stop with Kevin. It was every time we would recast and change somebody, that would then inform the script, you know, and then it would have to go back.
It was stressful. That's why there's so many different drafts of the movie over the years.
This is a mistake.
That's a correction.
He would come in with everything memorized, and he would come in and do it. And then it's like, okay, let's shift this, how you come in a little bit hot, more angry, and he would come in and he'd do that. And it's like, okay, now bring it back, be a little bit more calm. And these very subtle changes of emotion, and he would just fold it in and do it. And I remember looking at Josh being like, I cannot believe that we're doing this with him right now, because he's never acted before. And everybody on set could not believe how natural he was.
Kevin Garnett is amazing. I'm obsessed with him. Like, he got out there and he killed it. It's just crazy that he's never acted before. And he was cute. I was like, yeah, you're like such a good actor. He was like, no, I'm not an actor. I'm just good at taking direction. And I was like, oh my God, you're so funny.
The thing that I like about this is that everybody brought it, but you had a standard that Adam was setting, but you didn't want to let that down, and you felt that, you know? Is that facts?
Totally, yeah.
You know, like everybody was bringing it, and, and it was long nights, early mornings, longer nights, but everybody was bringing it.
Yeah.
One of the things that concerned me coming in here is just the scripts. The scripts was very long. I had some paragraphs that I had to actually, memorize, so I was kind of worried about that, but Adam, his leadership, I just followed. You know, in life I don't really follow many people, and I like to think that in this I just followed this lead, and it made it super transparent and easy to just remember the lines. I grew up on Adam. You know, Adam's made me laugh for 20-something years and going. To be in the presence of that was just, it was a bit of an awe. He's just really, really nurturing and outgoing with that, you know, versus stepping on people or overshadowing. It's very, very humbled and very, very inviting.
Man, he's so in the moment. I mean, he plays himself, but he's not really himself. He's in a situation he wasn't in real life, and he's just pretty on the money and a great guy. We're all happy we know KG now.